Okay, we're back, guys. So I'm just trying to chew some gum real quick to get the moisture back in my mouth because we've been talking and doing nothing for a little bit, but I'll spit this out before the game starts. We're in the lobby for Frozen Temple, and we're ready whenever they are.
Cool. Let's do it.
Alright, because we're skipping intros, just hop into it.
Alright.
Yeah, I gotta say, gum has been a magical aid. I don't normally eat gum.
Oh, God, no.
What?
Well, you never eat gum. You throw it out.
Okay, where is the real zombie girl? What's happened?
What?
This is you. This is coming from you, Mrs. I swallow gum all the time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't eat it, you throw it out.
But you do.
I eat it. You don't. So when you said, eating gum really helps, I'm like, well, you don't eat it.
Nice try, robot. Nice try, but you've been caught red-handed, alright?
Okay.
Spawning in the bottom right side of the map is going to be Zombie Girl's map intro, because in the upper left, it's going to be the very normal name of the Red Zerg player, Voltz.
I don't care. In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, he's MrBubbleDick.
Yay!
Hooray! Cheers all around! Yay! Alright then.
Yeah, so I almost never eat gum, or chew gum, or whatever you want to phrase it correctly. And it's just not something I've ever really enjoyed. And lately, though, with my allergies, I'm getting a really bad case of dry mouth. So someone suggested I try chewing gum, and it's actually been magic. Like, it like rejuvenates your mouth. I don't know how to describe it.
So I guess that might be like my problem, not eating gum, but just chewing gum, because I also eat it.
It's weird. Okay,
because...
yeah, can we talk about this? This isn't a judgment thing, but I'm curious, like, in chat, for people out there, how many of you actually swallow your gum versus just spit it out? And again, I'm not trying to take sides on this, because this is just interesting to me that Zombie is the first person I've ever met that intentionally swallows gum. So, 1 in chat if you do not swallow your gum, 2 in chat if you do swallow your gum.
Anyway, I actually, like, even if I threw, because I don't feel like eating it, I suppose, like, I have to, like, cut it into 2 parts with my teeth, and then I have to eat it sometimes, because it's, like, a big thing with gum. And sometimes I throw it out. Even when I do that, I basically just, like, pop a piece of gum into my mouth, like, one after another. So I'll go through, like, an entire packet of gum in, like, maybe a day. If I don't limit myself. And that actually gives me really bad, like, sore throat.
That's so strange, too. Like, that would make your throat sore of all things. Like,
so
gum is not exactly, like, sandpaper that you're swallowing.
Yeah, but I guess it's just for the same reason that's making your mouth actually, like, not dry anymore. Like, just occasionally, chewing gum. Is that I chew it so quick and so much that maybe it I don't know, saturates my mouth or whatever the word would be.
Okay, this is... I wouldn't know the science behind this at all. A couple of adepts do get across the map, but it's going to be a little annoying as we see Voltz jumps on this pretty much immediately, but realizing he's going to have to pull back because transfer heading off towards the main. John's going to get pulled away from this lest they be killed. He's got Overlord speed researching right now, and that's pretty nice, but what I hope to see is some more queens produced, because not only the adepts being annoying, there's going to be oracles coming up next.
Okay, I thought maybe he was going to go for a Ling drop, but of course no evolution chamber. Just getting the speed for scouting, I suppose, and a handful of Lings to actually clear up these damn adepts. And maybe if MrBubbleDick had tried going for a 3rd base, but of course it's way too early for that, so they are going to just have to stay outside and wait a little.
So it's his name, and it's what we're saying in game, but every time it just sounds like you're kind of like Mr. Jerkoff over there. Like, it just sounds like this really mean, like, throw off of his name.
One time... I went
Uh-oh, he misses the pylon.
Oh, no.
He could have gotten a block, but now this is devastating. Yeah, if this can depower the gateway, you can't power uphill. That pylon on the ground's nothing. Mothership Core is going to be the only form of defense. That Oracle might be able to help clean this up, but this is already just stunning out the gateways alone, done a lot of damage. And now going to possibly supply block him, too, with this next pylon going down.
That warp gate being blocked out is really important as well. Now the Mothership Core is out, so... Okay, not going to try and go back in. I think it would have been worth trying to go back into the main, though. Like, you can run away at least some of the Lings. But,
Well, part of it was he already baited the energy out of one of the oracles. So, I mean, MrBubbleDick doesn't have the energy to go across the map and actually kill anything. The overcharge gets popped. This is a little bit messy. Now the other oracle's got to use all of its energy to clean up these lings, and there's just no threat from this on account of the fact that he's used all the energy defending.
Yeah. Yep, this is a big problem for our Protoss player. So it's the third oracle on the way too, so knows that okay, don't like bring my queens or anything, but I think that's really not a problem. Each spore crawler, each main natural third has one, so not a problem there. And yeah, Voltz just has to macro. He's a little supply blocked right now, a little overeager, I guess, with the lings, but
the responses to this chewing versus swallowing thing is amazing. I love this. 1, because I'm not a monster, and then someone else says I used to be a 2, but then because everyone gave me shit for swallowing, I became a 1. Like,
it doesn't get stuck anywhere. It's just like any other food. I hate the people that are bringing this up. Like,
have you ever blown a bubble like from your? Maybe that's what bubble butt means. It's people who swallow the gum.
No, that's not.
They swallow a lot of gum, so when they go to use the bathroom, it blows the bubble. Is that what a bubble butt is?
Jesus. No.
Why do you guys get so obsessed when women have bubble butts? That sounds disgusting.
That does sound disgusting when you say it. Anywho.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think a nice bubble butt any day.
Oh boy. So, Voltz pretty good here. Up a lot in workers, starting to get an army. Gonna be roaches for now. And unfortunately, MrBubbleDick at his time, I think, would have really wanted to be thinking about a third base. Oh, there he actually puts it down. Never mind. But is potentially gonna have trouble actually keeping it. So, 4 oracles can definitely take on a spore crawler. That queen should have been helping, and she was a little bit lazy. So now a couple of drones might go down.
Yeah, she was busy. She was busy putting her cups inside other cups.
Queen cup?
No, just because you're lazy and you put your cups out of the cups.
Oh, okay. Got it.
The oracles are really getting out of hand. This is a little bit silly to watch, but the nice thing is, like, they don't actually have the energy to end the game here and now. So he's done a considerable amount of damage to Voltz, but this is more, if anything, just kind of evening up the damage he took earlier more than anything else.
Yeah, well, literally, they were at an even work account for quite some time, but of course, the problem for Voltz is that okay, he's getting his third base, he's getting pylons to the front, definitely necessary. He really doesn't have that good of an army, especially when the oracles are out of energy. He really has like no army whatsoever. So the Void Ray is definitely necessary, but then nothing much else in the ground. And I don't know if his third base has to be canceled here. It's only a handful of roaches, but if Voltz had not droned and sent out lings instead, I think there might have been a cancel. Oh well, the roaches do scuttle away. MrBubbleDick is going for Resident Enclaves for his Adepts. Just not adding on a Robo though, and I don't think he saw the Spire. No, he did not. So that's actually not a lot of money saved up for Voltz, but it's certainly a lot of gas. A Muta swap could really surprise the Protoss.
Yep, has many times in the past. I love this Void Ray for the defense, but it's not actually defending, which is a bit awkward because he's busy microing oracles on the other side of the map, so not really worth losing these probes over.
Well, there's 5 mutas. Should probably wait, yeah, I guess like 8 mutas. Looks a lot better for the initial attack on the Protoss base. Because, I mean, if it's like 5 mutas, Phoenix, maybe they actually do respond in time, but you run in with 11 mutas, and that's, you know, potentially even sniping the Stargate if they really don't have any anti-air.
Right, and this is where the problem for this lays. Like, it's one thing that all of a sudden MrBubbleDick's intention is going to have to entirely focus on the mutas, whether it's warping and stalkers, getting the Phoenix out, you name it. But then there's also lings coming behind this. There's a Baneling nest coming down next. Like, Voltz isn't continuing to just invest everything in mutas and only mutas. He actually has a follow-up plan to this as well.
Banelings is a interesting follow-up to mutas, believe it or not. Like, if this is a versus Terran, it'd be like, well, that's expected. Like, oh, what a big deal. But versus Protoss, it's usually one or the other nowadays. Like, Banelings colliding in and, like, Lurkers and whatnot, or it's mutas. Well, these mutas are probably already spiraling out of control. The number is 13, and unfortunately, Blink hasn't started. It's of course not gonna be done. There's no upgrades for said stalkers. And
I love that they just don't care that the Void Ray is shooting them. It does such inconsequential damage to mutas like this.
Yeah, really. The probe losses here are going to be pretty extreme. I mean, trying to deal some return drone losses with his oracles or any adepts running out to at least try and bring the mutas back.
Oh no!
Was,
Oh
a
no!
good
That
idea,
transfer.
but GG.
All right, game 1 gonna go to Voltz. I think I just remind everybody this is a qualifier match, so this isn't something where oh no, like Voltz has still got another thing to go back on or anything like that. Like MrBubbleDick, being behind 1 is not a good start for him here in the qualifier. That being said, we're gonna go to a small break. We'll get the next lobby set up. Quick little Ting commercial, and we'll see you guys soon. Alright guys, we're just going to hop directly into the game as we get into Dusk Towers for game number 2. Did the music not turn back on? I did. Alright. Spawning here in the upper right side of Dusk Towers. He's currently behind in the series by 1. See if we can bring him back. It's going to be the pink Protoss, MrBubbleDick.
The bottom left as the blue Zerg, he's Voltz.
I want to know the story behind this name, because this is a guy who's got so many games on ladder played. He's got Grandmaster. To me, at a glance, this just looks like his friend happened to find his computer unattended and he was logged into the BattleNet, so he took advantage of the free name change or something on his behalf. You know what I mean?
So for me, it's more like he probably doesn't use this as his name everywhere. Nowadays people for the most part just kind of pick a name and that's what they use, or some variation of the name.
That was me.
Wherever
That's
they sign up.
Rifkin.
Yeah. So it's probably not that name. He probably made an alt account once and then it became his main account that he actually became master to, and he just thought it would be hilarious if every single time someone was matched up against MrBubbleDick. That's my theory.
See, I would 100% get into this point where, like, if I wasn't good enough to be a full-on next Polt Bonjour, I would at least try and make a name for myself through silly antics, right? And we've talked about before, like, changing the decal on your command center to, like, have a different face to react to how that game went. Like, start game 1 with a neutral-looking face, and then, like, if you win game 1, swap it to a smiley. If you lose game 1, swap it to a sad face. Pick a silly name that's just funny for casters to say. I mean, like, it's dumb, but I'm going to remember MrBubbleDick from this tournament more than Voltz, even if he loses, because of his stupid-ass name.
That's certainly true. He also did beat a couple of, one at least good player. I don't really know a lot about tearing it up, so. But Dragon Knight Jason was looking fine. Perfectly fine, really. And then still got beat by him, so. Congrats,
yeah, actually.
But Zerg seems to be a different issue.
Yeah, well, Voltz is well on top of that. I mean, Voltz is not exactly a bad player. He's, again, one of those guys we usually give credit to the round of 8 for, at least when you see him in those brackets. Like, you know he's going to make it at least that far. Question being, who does he meet there? Does he end up coming against players like Bales or Massa or other greats, or does he actually get a little bit further? Today, it lucked out because there was some severe misunderstanding with the times for the brackets, where you had people like Bales and others who just mentioned who didn't get to actually play today because there's some misunderstanding on the times for the brackets.
I'm still wondering, because it's like they were looking at the Google Doc.
No, so people, well, the Google Doc's actually accurate, but people are saying it says 12 p.m.
I changed it.
Oh, okay. But regardless, people are saying it was the challenge page that was mistaken, not anywhere else.
Well, it's not now, so I don't know if it was the same situation.
Oh, yeah, well. Maybe Olivia went and edited it, or I don't know, but I know for a fact that, like, this is where it gets a little bit frustrating for me, right? Because, okay, I understand a couple players got messed up by this, but it seems like there was a significant amount of them that did. But yet, we've been talking about this all week. I've made posts since, like, a week and a half ago. There's the Team Liquid calendar, so I on one hand feel a little bit bad because, this is a missed opportunity for them, but on the other, I'm like, well, guess what? You're fucking adults, and you can look this stuff up pretty easily.
I wonder if it was a case where someone either was like, there's two different things where you going by, I'm going by X, and then that just gets, like, spread around.
Exactly. I think, if anything, someone probably asked, like, hey, do you know what time the qualifiers are? They give them the wrong time, and then that just keeps going like that.
Yeah, round and round. So that's, Chris is one here. Fortunate for the people that did, like, realize that were actually able to, like, oh, shit, like, it's up, I'm gonna go check in, but it seems like Voltz, and I'm gonna guess Major are gonna get the spots, but Cuddlebear's TVT look good, so if his sickness isn't, actually really affecting him. I'm kind of looking forward to that TBT.
Me too, and part of that's because, well, Cuddlebear's maybe surprising with his good skill. Major's also not been looking very good in the recent times we've seen him.
Yeah, yeah. TVT I think has always been like a fairly strong matchup for any Terran, as like TVZ used to be, and TVP was like always up in the air depending on like what Terran you were watching. But lately it does feel like Major just I don't know, it didn't actually adapt that well to tank drops, where some other Terrans adapted very well to tank drops, and their TVTs, you know, skyrocketed, looked much more impressive. So we'll see what he looks like today. But Voltz is really, I mean, he doesn't get the same type of fortunate event here with Lings getting into the main base, and that really threw Protoss player off. But I still think he's looking pretty strong in PvZ, ZvP.
He was like, what, 4 or 5? No, not even 4 or 5, excuse me, like 3 or 4 pylons that went down. Like, that was a really good start for Zerg.
Yeah, that really throws everything off. I mean, besides literally stalling like warp gate and whatnot, it also just made MrBubbleDick mess up his macro. So his Resident Enclaves was a lot later than it should have been, and as such, you know, can actually had that for the mutas, although not like super likely. Here he opens up with a Phoenix opener, which makes a lot of sense. I feel like after dying to muted, like first player will do this on like especially ladder. I feel like I'm not dying to that again. But it's also just a fairly very standard good opener.
I'm a big fan of Stargate in general for PvP right now, or sorry, excuse me, PvZ right now. Oh God, what was that sound? That was so loud. What did I just open?
Google Doc
Rip
sound.
stream.
Remember?
Yeah, rip stream. Sorry guys. Wow, that was so loud and startled me. At any rate, oh, what was I saying? That completely threw me off. PvZ,
you really
right?
like Stargate openers.
I like Stargate openers because these Phoenix become so handy later on, and it really. It's one thing to get some damage done with killing drones here and there, and that's cool, but really, I feel their greatest strength comes, like, just that crowd control aspect. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, your cat's being so cute, I gotta hide your camera now or I'll be distracted. But anyways, the crowd control aspect really can't be undervalued. You really just, the lifting up 5 lurkers and taking them out of the fight is huge.
Yes, absolutely. But to add on, he made, like, a sound, because I think he's having a nightmare. He was like, and then his like lip twitched and he kind of went like this with his paws.
Because the stream can totally see that.
It was the cutest thing. I think they can imagine like what else he can do with his paws. They're really cute. Anyway,
does like the Fonzie like with but with like the paws, his thumbs. What's up?
Anyway, yeah, like Phoenix openers have really. I mean, I remember 8 months ago you were like Phoenix openers. What are they gonna do in this matchup? I hate them. They always die.
But it's really been refined and handled better since then. So, I mean, a lot of things have changed since, like, 8 months ago, but, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agreed back then. People were not very good with Phoenix openers. They would just die to ground attacks, and it didn't seem to be...
There was... I think the problem is there's a lot of too much tunnel vision on the drone lines as well, not realizing how good they were for later on. But man, Voltz coming in hard. That's 39 Banelings. There's a lot of Hydras, but there's force fields and storms. So will MrBubbleDick just happen to have the perfect response? Not if he moves out in the open like this.
Oh, Jesus. No. That is so many Banelings. The force fields aren't perfect. They gotta get a donut, basically. They gotta get some sort of force field.
Oh, that's it. That's game. There's nothing else to be said. It's over.
That is game.
I don't know
if his hotkeys he didn't tab or what, but that was...
His bubble got burst, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Voltz who qualifies through the first North American spot for the TING qualifiers. Excellently handled. Very well done. And MrBubbleDick, see you in the next qualifier.
His run has ended.
But okay, now we go to Major versus Cuddlebear. This is going to get a little bit interesting. This is going to be that TBT we had talked about before. So don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to play some more words from our sponsors. What one did we do last time? We talked about the TING, I think, rates. This time we'll talk about their coverage and where you guys and how you can get benefits from that. So thank you to TING for sponsoring the event. Please watch the video on their behalf, guys. And we'll see you all in a minute or two.